Hello guys, welcome to Outta City Cop. How are you all doing? We are back. We're back on YouTube. We're back making videos. We're back going to be doing live streams. If you haven't known, we are back. So thank you for joining us, guys. This is going to be a transfer news roundup show. We're going to be talking about a few players that have been in the media for the last week or two. And yeah, I'll give you my views and opinions on it. And let's see how we get on. So, obviously, we're going to start off with the big one. Timo Werner is, in maybe the last few days, definitely in the last week, has been hotting up massively around the press about Liverpool being very interested, because it's been announced, should I say, that he has a release clause of 60 million euros or around about that. I've got a bit of information about that release clause because it ain't as clean cut as saying he's got a release clause of 50 or 60 million. But yeah, Liverpool have been very, very much interested. So is it Bild, I think is the news outsource in Germany, have come out and said it is reported that Liverpool made contact with Leipzig in January over a move of their prize asset with the plan to loan him back for the remainder of the season. So basically, Liverpool obviously were interested, well, apparently meant to be interested, and was very interested in making that deal permanent in January, and was within the option of loaning him back. So we'd have bought him in January and wouldn't have got him till next season. Obviously, that didn't materialise at January. So Liverpool, from what we know, Liverpool are definitely interested in Timo Werner. What I don't understand is why a lot of other clubs haven't gone in for him. I was looking at his stats before I did making this video, as I'm very, very efficient, very professional. Let's start off in the 16-17 season, right? So this is, how old would he have been? That's what, 3.5 seasons ago? He would have been 19-20. First season, 32 appearances, 21 goals, 7 assists. First season. Second season, 45 games, 21 goals, 10 assists. Last season, 37 appearances, 19 goals and 10 assists. This season currently played 30 games, 25 goals with 10 assists. So far, even his RB Leipzig's career, he's averaging 10 assists a season and 20 goals a season. So he's effectively been involved in RB Leipzig for the last 4 seasons in 30 goals every season in terms of goals and assisting, which is fantastic stats. And it just, I don't know, there's something inside me going, why ain't no one else gone in for him if this release clause has been there? I don't know whether or not, since Liverpool have been interested for the last couple of seasons, if he's had a new contract and this release clause has just been put in. I'm not too sure, but it just seems like that's very cheap for a player who's very consistent. You know, granted, I'm very happy that Liverpool are interested in him. Obviously, Liverpool have been very interested in him for a long time, as well as Bayern Munich. But apparently, another report's coming out that Bayern Munich have also been linked with a move for Werner in the past. However, Hatchard, who is, I think, a commentator or something, daft like that, out in Germany, has said that Bundesliga champions have now called their interest in him. He thinks his release clause of around 50 million or 60 million euros will be well worth paying for Liverpool, who he reckons will be at the front of the queue. Who reckon they will be at the front of the queue to sign him in the summer. The release clause, depending on the situation Leipzig are in, there are a few add-ons in there, but yeah, 50 million is much the figure. Actually, I told Talk Sport. They're talking around 60 million euros top end with the add-ons in, which I think, to be honest with you guys, is fantastic price. Obviously, Liverpool have always been looking for this sort of, not a replacement for our front three, but like, you know, just to take the pressure off him, just to be able to give him a rest, because, you know, Divock Origi, as much as he's a cult hero at Liverpool, doing what he did against Barcelona as well as in the Champions League final and Everton, I personally really like Divock Origi, but he's just, I don't know, I think we could get better. I think there is better out there. I think it is just more of a fan's sort of love for him for what he's done for the club, regarding to, is he really good enough for the club? There's definitely a lot of potential in Divock Origi. I just don't think he's got the drive to reach his potential. So I could see maybe Divock Origi going in the summer, as well as Xherdan Shaqiri, which is two of the players that could play in that front three. So bringing in Timo Werner would be absolutely a fantastic asset, as well as a fantastic addition to the squad, and to make it just to bolster it. You know, imagine if we was bringing Timo Werner, but that is another problem I just want to bring up. A lot of people are thinking, because Liverpool are in a power of strength, being where they are in the league, what they've done last season winning the Champions League, that you improve in a position of power. So when you're at the top, to maintain at the top, you have to keep improving, right? I agree. But the downside to that is to try and get the calibre of players that you want to improve or to be as good as what we already have, which ideally the front three in this instance are pretty much world class, and to bring Timo Werner in there, who wants regular football, regarding to his stats for the last 4 seasons, means he's been playing regular football and he's been doing it very consistently at a high level and been prolific within that time with his goals and assists throughout them seasons. It's going to be hard to sell him the job to say, oh yeah, we want you to come to Liverpool, but you're going to be a bit part player. So would Liverpool change the formation to maybe a 4-2-3-1, so you can drop maybe Bobby Firmino in that cam role or the number 10 role and then play Werner up front? Maybe that might be a possibility. But the problem is with the players of Timo Werner's calibre is to sell them the idea of you being in the part of a squad rather than being the main man. That's the important bit, and that is the hardest bit for Liverpool to be able to do to improve this squad, is to be able to convince them that they're going to get enough game time. For me, I think there's a lot of clout in what's been said with Timo Werner, and I think it is very, very much 100% true that Liverpool are really looking to make this deal permanent. I could see it happening really at the beginning of the transfer window, maybe before the transfer window, and keeping this loan period thing in, so maybe have a deal in principle, then when the transfer window opens, boom, we go in. But I do think Liverpool are going to be probably number 1 contenders to sign him, and I think he's very interested in joining Liverpool as well. Right, so that's my news on Timo Werner. I think it's very much nailed on that Liverpool are very interested in him. The release clause, I think money-wise, this is a Liverpool signing all over. If we can get him for 60 million euros, like full whack, that's a no-brainer. With the likes of, we're going to be talking about Jadon Sancho next, but like Jadon Sancho is meant to be valued at like 100 plus, and I'll give you his stats. Granted, he's a lot younger, but they're not there. They're good, but they're not Timo Werner. And for the valuation, you know, I think Timo Werner's more seasoned than what Jadon Sancho would be. But yeah, so for me, I'd love for him to come to the club, Werner that is, and I do think Liverpool's interest is genuine, and I do think they are pushing to get that deal done over the line. Right, like I've just been saying, Jadon Sancho's up next. So if you don't know who Jadon Sancho is a 19-year-old English international, plays for Borussia Dortmund. I've got a few little stats like I did for you for Timo Werner just a minute ago. Starting off when he was 17-19 season, appearances 21 goals, 5 assists, 7. 18-19 season, 43 appearances, 13 goals, 19 assists. Brilliant season, so that's when he's 18. I thought that was really good. 19 assists at that age, fantastic, as well as 13 goals. And currently this season he has, in 29 appearances, he has 15 goals and 17 assists, guys. So he sounds like he's an assist king, which, you know, I'm all up for having that. And he's clinical in front of goal. 15 goals. He plays out on the wing. He's not the main focal point of that team in terms of goal scoring, but he's still chipping in with this amount of goals as well as the assists. The lad's definitely got talent. You know, I am a massive fan of him. I think he's brilliant. I think for his age and what he's doing, I think he's outstanding. The only problem I do have with him, I think he has the wrong attitude. There was a lot of reports claiming that he used to come into training pretty much late all the time. He's now, credit to him, apparently changed all that, and he's being more professional and realised that he has to add that to his game as well as just being skillful. You need to be a true professional, especially if you want to get to the high end. But yeah, it's the bit. Also, the big news on Jadon Sancho actually is Jadon Sancho will be allowed to leave Borussia Dortmund this summer. It's not taken long for Liverpool to throw. It's not taken long for reports to throw Liverpool right into the mix. However, they are not alone. The reports claim that Man City have also expected to make a move, while Manchester United, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Barcelona are also interested in him. Obviously, you know, and I'm sure a host of other clubs are very much interested in him. But the problem is a lot of people are saying around 100 million for plus to be able to secure his services to Liverpool or to various other clubs. So could you see Liverpool spending 100 million? No. James Pearce has come out in the last day or so and pretty much squashed claims on Jadon Sancho, tweeting, "I'd be very surprised, just can't see LFC paying 100 million plus for him. Werner cheaper and more likely option as reported last week." So, going back to what I was saying, Timo Werner seems like it would be more for the price of Timo Werner and for his stats over the last 4 seasons. No brainer, like James Pearce has said. Like I said, I really would like Jadon Sancho. Obviously, the 100 million thing is a massive blow, and obviously his professionalism is still up in question, but still, he is a fantastic talent. I would like to see him come to Liverpool as well, as because he's English as well, which is obviously another good thing. Be good to get there for the England international team, to get him bedding around other English players. But like I said, 100 million plus, I don't see Liverpool, unless there's players, like, you know, if we're getting rid of players like Adam Lallana has been mooted to be leaving. If there's a deal where we can add players into that deal, maybe, but if it's just, if it's just cash outright, I can't see it happening. So we'll have to keep your eye on that one, guys. But personally, if the money stays around that, I don't see Liverpool spending that sort of money. I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong. Football's football, and I'm no ITK. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. Right, I've got another player here. I've come prepared because I can't say his name. Samuel, I can say his first bit. His surname, tricky. So, if you can hear this.
Samuel Chukwueze.
Chukwueze. That's what that says. Chukwueze. If I'm wrong, don't shoot the messenger. I'm repeating what I've been told. So, right. Samuel Chukwueze. I'm not going to say his name again. I'm going to keep calling him Samuel, because his surname, to be honest, is a pain. Right, so he's 20-year-old, Nigerian international, plays for Villarreal. He's a winger. Again, I've got some stats for you here. Not so great. Granted, if you're bearing in mind that from what Jadon Sancho is, and they're around the same age, he's only been at 2 seasons for Leipzig. Last season he got in 47 appearances, 47, 10 goals, 4 assists. This season, currently on 26 appearances, 4 goals and 4 assists. Not the best. Last season, yeah, granted, 19, first season, getting 10 goals and 4 assists, yeah, fair enough to him. May have bags of potential. He may not. The problem I have with this, there is a report. I'm going to quickly read this report, actually, sorry. Man City to fight Liverpool and Chelsea for the league winger. Chukwueze, or Samuel, has become a regular for Nigeria and is valued at around 60 million. The 20-year-old was strongly linked with Liverpool for 30 million during the recent January transfer window. So, if Liverpool, going by what reports are suggesting, we're interested in January for 30 million, do you think they're going to pay 60 million in the summer? No. My biggest issue with this transfer, what makes me think ain't going to happen, so let's just forget about it, is the fact that he is this is not bad. Because he's Nigerian, he'll be in the AFCON. Because we already have the likes of Naby Keita, Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, I can't see us bringing in another African international due to the fact of this African Cup of Nations. Because can we afford to then lose Mo Salah, as well as Sadio Mane, as well as Naby Keita, and then the backup to Mane and Salah would be this Samuel, who will also be going, because he is an international for Nigeria. He does play regularly for Nigeria. So on that basis, which is a massive shame, and it's not fair for his career, really, because you think a player should not be judged because he wants to go and play for his national team, but because of how the FA and how everything's put together and how it's all scheduled, and it's a shambles. It's an utter shambles. So for that reason, I can't see Liverpool going in for another African player, which is a massive shame, because there's loads of great talent there, due to the fact of this African Cup of Nations and the fact that our first team 11 and subs, obviously Kate is probably not in the first 11, are African, and we would be losing them, which would be a massive blow in our season. I think we lose them through December, I think, which I don't think Liverpool can afford. So that relies, again, going back to the Timo Werner, ticks all the boxes. European, as well as Jadon Sancho, granted, but the price, but the value that him being in Europe, being a brilliant replacement, can play across all the front three. Out of them 3 players that we've spoken about today, guys, I would definitely pay attention to the Timo Werner. I'd scrap the Samuel one. and maybe just keep a loose tab on Jadon Sancho. So yeah, very excited about the prospect of Liverpool signing Timo Werner. I think that's the one that's pretty much 100% nailed on in the interest of Liverpool. As well as the Jadon Sancho, I think there's definitely interest in him because he's an exceptional talent. But it's the price bracket, like James Pearce said. Liverpool spending 100 million on him, we can't really see it happening. Be very, very surprised, as well as and I'm sure as well as you guys would be. As much as we'd all like him to join the club, but that's the issue that we have. And obviously the Samuel Chukwueze, due to the African nation, I just can't see it happening, guys. I really, really can't. So yeah, definitely pay attention to the Timo Werner news, guys, and keep a very close eye on it and a very loose eye on Jadon Sancho. I'm glad to be back, guys. Thank you for checking out the video. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button. If you want to see more content over here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you want to pay real close attention, make sure to hit that notification bell, because that'll give you updates and emails to say when things go live, when we go on live streams, or when a video is uploaded. But nice one, guys. Also, Twitter. So nice one, guys. So I'm glad to be back, guys. Thank you for joining in the video. So I'm glad to be back, guys. Thank you for checking out the video. If you like the video, make sure to smash that thumbs up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to keep up to date on news, gossip and stuff like that, make sure to come and follow me on Twitter, guys. I post on there all day, 24/7 pretty much. And if you want to ask me questions, come and ask me over there as well, guys. Much appreciated. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.